Can you see my face, or is the camera thingy
No,
not
it's
working?
still loading. It's like doing the little blocks.
Still? All right. All right. So we're all live. Everything's set to go. You can't see my face, but oh well.
Okay,
All
I ain't
right.
worried about it.
So, why don't you give like a little introduction to yourself and like
For
what you
sure.
do and everything?
All right. Well, my name is Andrea, and I go by Dre or Dreo. Really, whatever you want. I'm cool with all of it. Um, I go to school at Stephen F. Austin University in Naca Nowhere, Texas, and I am a sound recording technology major, with hopes of having my own studio. That's the dream. So I do music production and stuff like that, and I also have a band on the side. We're like metalcore, metal with some. I like to let my guitarist go off and do his prog thing. So we're called Hanamura. Uh, yes, from the Overwatch map.
Yep, I was about
That's
to
what we
say.
bonded on. Yeah, me and him bonded over Overwatch, and for the love of God, could not think of a band name. And we first went with Perilous, and I was like, man, that sounds really cringy. And so I was like, we were loading into a game, and she goes, uh, now entering Hanamura, and I was like, bro, let's just name our band Hanamura. It sounds pretty cool. So yeah, that's what we do. We're working on our EP right now, so hopefully that'll be done at some point.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm 22 and I live in Tyler, Texas when I'm not at school. Originally from Dallas. I moved to Tyler when I was like 14. So,
That's pretty cool because I've told you before that we're actually from Dallas, or
yeah,
I'm
I
from
thought that was
Dallas.
super dope.
Yeah.
What part of Dallas are you in?
I'm in Wiley.
Oh, shit, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Yep. And we got a couple other Dallas members as well. Do you like follow the Dallas local scene at all?
Not too much. I can't like name anybody like off the back of my
Mhm.
hand, but most famously, Fit for a King. Obviously, they're actually from Tyler originally. Jared, the drummer, he actually lives in the same neighborhood as my guitarist. Uh, when he's not in Fort Worth, he goes back here, and we see him like in public, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, it's Jared.
Bro. Damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's also like really crazy learning how like because I have this whole big spreadsheet of where bands are from, and I learned like Fit for a King, Polyphia, Crown the
Oh yeah, Polyphia,
Empire.
dude.
All those
Oh
guys
yeah, I
are
forgot
from
Crown the
here.
Empire is from Dallas.
Yep, it's crazy
Mhm.
learning about all these
So's
guys.
Misha from Periphery. He stays in Dallas
Oh, really?
too. Yeah,
Dang. Yeah, see,
Misha
people
Mansour.
talk about Australian metalcore and everything, but
Bro,
forgetting
there's
about
a bunch
Dallas.
here, dog.
All right, so what got you into like the metalcore scene and all that?
um, I really think like the move from Dallas to Tyler got me into more like alternative stuff. My mom, she has like the widest music range I've ever heard. So I was like 7 listening to well, she's from El Salvador originally, so we would listen to like Salvadorian music, and then the next thing would be like My Chemical Romance, and I was like, damn, this goes hard. With Helena specifically, I was like, dude, what is this? And after that, I just like dove deep. And one band that I owe a lot to is Avenged Sevenfold, and people give Avenged Sevenfold a ton of shit, but I will die on the hill that Avenged Sevenfold is the shit. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
from there
agree.
I just got into other stuff. Especially in high school, I was like obsessed with Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil, all bands like that. pretty much. And I went to Warp Tour like every year. I think my first Warp Tour was 2012, and then I went every year after that. I just could not get enough, dude. And I was like, I how do I get even more into this?
Dang, so you were like a scene kid from the beginning.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
yeah,
was so into it.
I
And
only got into it in like when I was 16.
oh,
And,
for real?
yeah,
Dude, anytime's a good time to get into it.
yeah, yeah.
It's not a phase, bro. Like,
No, it
definitely.
isn't. Like I took like a long break too,
Mhm.
and then I like recently came back like a couple years ago, and I'm like, all right. And then I started getting to the concerts, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm
dude.
all in now. Like,
Mhm. Dude, my when I saw my first mosh pit, I was like, people just do this?
yeah.
I was like, this is fucking awesome.
My
I don't know
first
if are
mosh pit,
you
I
cool with
was.
me cursing on here?
Oh no, I don't care.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, my first mosh pit, I was with my girlfriend at the time. We were 16, and she's 4'11", and it was an
Nice. I can
issues
relate.
mosh pit, and she wanted this was her first concert, so she wanted to be in the middle, and then she
Mhm.
got caught in the mosh pit, but she's like so
Uh,
small, she like fell
mhm.
down and had like drag her out of there, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
weird.
Dude, I've had my mosh pit stories. I've gotten elbowed in the head, and oh, I have videos of me getting fucking nailed in the nose at Dance Gavin Dance, and my
Ooh.
nose started bleeding, and I just like the adrenaline. I just couldn't feel anything, and I was like, ah! It like just fueled me more. I was like, someone hit me again.
At a dance, I have
But
a dance mosh pit too.
oh
It's
yeah, dude,
definitely
Dance Gavin Dance
intense.
crowds are insane.
Yeah, I was sad I couldn't see them because COVID. Because my
Oh my
favorite band
god,
is
yeah, I had
Issues,
tickets
so
too.
Dance Gavin Dance with support from Issues, like that would have been
Yeah,
something
it's
else.
fucking
But
sick.
it happens.
Uh huh. I think that the time I was really truly afraid in a mosh pit was when I saw Attila at Warped Tour.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
Attila's all for shits and giggles. You know, I feel like no one should really take Attila too seriously. But
Mhm.
so I went in there and they had the biggest fucking crowd. And you know, Franz is he's weird and crazy, but he's like front man of front mans, and they wall of death, and I was in the middle, and I didn't know which side to go to because either way I would have been right in the front. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, this is horrible. I was like so scared, and then by the time I could even decide anything, both of them just started coming, and I was like, oh god. So I did not crowd surf because no one was carrying me,
Mhm.
but I did crawl across people's heads to jump over the barrier and have the security guard save my life.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the only time I was truly afraid.
Dang. Yeah, that's a. Yeah, I would be terrified. Like I would have
And
done the
I just
same
wanna be able to
thing.
provide that experience for people.
Yeah. Yeah. Make other people terrified.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
you're a very good singer. So what got
Thank
you
you.
started into like being from like a fan of the genre to actually throwing yourself in it, starting a band and
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to actually like be a part of it?
So, I started pretty early. When I was, like, a freshman in high school, I, was singing all the songs that I like, and then I would just be quiet during all the screaming parts, and I was like, "Man, fuck that. I wanna yell."
Hmm.
So, what really got me into it was Memphis Mayfire. Their early stuff is so fucking good. Um, and so I was just like, The Hollow, I was so into The Hollow. I, like, learned every single song on The Hollow, and I would scream it, and it was so bad. It was horrible. I would send I would send videos of myself. I was practicing, uh, like, by myself in my house when my parents were gone. I have, a microphone that they bought me because I told them I wanted to record stuff, and I was practicing, like, my stage presence, And so I would just send my best friend, I would send her videos, and, I appreciate her honesty because she was like, "You know, you need to practice more." And
Yeah.
I was like, "You're right." So I practiced forever. She was the only person I showed for, like, 3 years. And I just enjoyed it so much, and you just, like, imagine yourself, like, you can imagine yourself at a concert being in the crowd, but like imagining being on the other side was just like I was like I got to do that, you know? I was like I
Mhm.
have to do it. There's no way I can't not do that. So, I just practice and practice, and then I really got into what really helped me was suicide silence. That really helped me trying to get those really low stuff. I was all like, man, I gotta do that. There's no way. I just, it's so fun. It's so stress relieving.
Mhm.
Like I just feel like everything I'm worried about just gets out my mouth, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so after that, I met my guitarist after high school, and I never really thought about like having a band at that time. I just thought I was just doing it for fun, and I was like, and then I started to learn like guitar and bass and things because I didn't know anybody else. In Tyler in East Texas, there's not a lot of
Yeah.
diversity.
Yeah, if you're not from
And
Texas, you don't understand it.
exactly. So I'm over here in the Bible Belt of Texas, and you know, no one wants to hear that.
Mhm.
No one likes that. I had my little niche of friends, and so I didn't meet my guitarist until after high school, and he was super into all the same bands that I was into, and I was like, "Bro, how did we never meet in high school? Because we went to the same school. There's only two fucking schools here."
Mhm.
Uh, and he's like, "I don't know." And then I didn't tell him that I did vocals at the time. We just bonded over music. And then he's like, "Man, I really need a vocalist." He's like, "I have all these songs written, and we have a drummer and a bassist that comes sometimes, but we just really need a vocalist." And I was like, my heart was beating so fast, and I was like, "This is it. This is my time to shine." And so basically just auditioned for him because he had another guy in mind too, and I was like, "Ugh, he's gonna choose the other guy because the other guy is gonna have more range or whatever. And I screamed for him the final episode by asking Alexandria, and that's where it started. And he gave me the first like validation, like, dude, like you got chops. And I was like, for real, because I feel like that was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, dude." He's like, "You can out scream any of these dudes." He's like, "We gotta fucking do this." And I was like, "All right, I'm in."
Hell
So
yeah.
that's what we've been doing.
That's cool as hell.
Thanks, man.
So let's see. Looking at my questions. So what do you think is, as a vocalist, what is the hardest and the easiest things for you personally to do while doing that?
So the the easiest part of that question to answer is what's the hardest part?
Hmm.
And it's definitely like the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
I am a 5'2" Hispanic little girl. So, and I'm the first person in my family to be born in the United States. So there's like a very heavy, like culture thing in my family.
Hmm.
And so I was like, there's absolutely no way I can ever show them me doing
Yeah.
this. So, having the courage to be like, this is what I'm passionate about, and this might be like super weird to you guys, but like this is what makes me happy, like truly. And if they love me, then they'll accept it, and which they have. So
Hmm.
they're all super encouraging and accepting of it. So that's pretty dope. But you know, it's always so weird when people are like, I'm gonna show this to my dad who's like 50, and like living in Tyler, Texas. I'm like, don't show that to your dad.
Yeah.
So it's just really having the courage to like put yourself out there.
Hmm.
It's whenever I upload something, I've only uploaded two videos, but both times I've almost had a panic attack each time. I'm like, dude, someone's gonna tell me that I'm a freaking weirdo. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm a freaking weirdo. That's fine.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So
mean,
that's
you
the
gotta do
hardest
it for
part for
you.
sure. And having accepting yourself, like knowing, because everyone's super hard on themselves. Whether you're playing guitar, drums, bass, whatever you're playing, you always think that it's not good enough. Or you need to practice all the time to get better, but breaks are needed. And
Mhm.
when I'm recording, I am never satisfied with the take. I always have to get my guitarist. His name is Tanner, so I just call him Tanner. I always have to get Tanner's approval. I'm like, "Was that good, bro?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, that was freaking sick." And I'm like, "All right, whatever you say, dog."
Yep.
So it's just stuff like that. Self-assurance and courage.
Yeah, I can
And
definitely see why that would be the hardest part. Like,
yeah, that's why I look up to people like Courtney from Spirit Box
mhm.
and Lauren Babick, Red Hand in Denial. Like, they're probably the top two female metal vocalists that I look up to because they just give it their fucking all. They don't give a shit. Like
Mhm.
they do it, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to be like that.
Yeah.
The, I,
Yeah.
so the easiest part is finding like the drive to do it because every time I do it, it feels so good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to be yelling.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like you found it. Like
Yeah, because
it
I play
yeah.
guitar, I play bass, I have my drum set over there that I play to, and like I get satisfaction from doing those things, but nothing gives me the same satisfaction of when I'm doing vocals.
Mhm. That's awesome. I'm glad you found like your thing, even if you struggle with like the confidence. Like everybody's gonna struggle with that confidence too. So it's cool
Yeah,
that you
man.
have like that person that will tell you, because you'll never see it. You don't hear it the same way that, let's say, Tanner hears it, or your fans will hear
Yeah,
it. So that's
exactly.
that's good.
For sure.
So you're working on. So is this EP your first project?
Yeah, this is my first like original project that I'm working on. Is my EP with Tanner, and we've been working on it for a good while. We have a bunch of songs that are like ready, but we're just trying to figure out which ones to put on, and we keep writing new songs and like we're trying to figure out what we want our first sound, like what we want people to think about our first sound because like we have songs that are super prog, like Haken, Leprous type stuff, super like experimental thing. Sounds weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have stuff that's super melodic metalcore type, and we write all these like vastly different songs. So we're just trying to figure out like what do we want our sound what do we want to put out there as our sound, And lately we've been talking about putting one song, like having like 5 songs for our EP or 6, and each one is like a different genre of metal that we like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's really cool. If you can come out with like a bunch of range too, like that
Yeah.
would be really cool. You're not like one of those bands that just does one
Yeah,
sound.
pumping out the formula.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to
uh
keep it fresh.
oh yeah, yeah. So you do other things besides vocals too. You do voice acting, correct?
Yeah, well, I worked on Doom Eternal that just came out, and when did that come out? It's been out for a while now. But I did the vocals for Doom Eternal in March 2019, and that was insane to me because I don't have anything out. All I had was at the time was the Periphery uh vocal cover of The Price is Wrong, and so I follow Mick Gordon. He's the you know who he is, Mick Gordon?
No.
He's the composer for Doom Eternal, and he did Doom 2016, and he does Killer Instinct. He's done a ton of video games, and luckily for me, he's super into Gent,
Yeah.
and he loves Periphery. He's like friends with those guys. He Mick Gordon produced what's that song? The new Bring Me the Horizon song, Parasite Eve.
Oh, really?
Mick Gordon produced that song.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so I follow him on Instagram and stuff, and Tanner was like, "Dude, look at this. Mick Gordon needs metal vocalists. You should try out." Like as a joke.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Damn, maybe I should try out." And so I sent my vocal cover video, and I just forgot about it because I'm on Twitter and I see people like the vocalist of Currents. and Ryan from Fit for a King, like all these bands that I like, they're auditioning for that too. And I was like, oh God. I was like, I
Oh
gotta do that.
no.
It's so embarrassing. You know, I was like I was
Mhm.
like, well, I'm glad nobody knows about this. I was like, well, I'm not gonna get that. So I just forgot about it. I was like, whatever. And then 2 weeks later, I'm just like chilling playing video games and I glance at my phone and I get an email and it says Mick Gordon on the top. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, "What is this gonna be like, sorry, you suck?"
Mhm.
You know? And then I open it, and he was like, "Andrea, I was blown away by your video." You know, he's like, "I was wondering if you would like to join me in this project." And he couldn't tell me that it was Doom Eternal at the time, but, you know, we all
Mhm.
knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No way, no way, no way, no fucking way." And so I'm over here like almost crying to Tanner telling him and he was like, "Well, you better email him back." And I was like, "Hell yeah." So I was like, "Yes, please." And I was going to Texas State at the time and the recording was in Austin. So it could not have been like a more perfect situation.
Yeah.
Um it took a 30-minute drive to record vocals for Doom Eternal.
Mhm.
So I was like, this is fucking sick because I didn't have any money, broke college student. So I was like, I feel like this was meant to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not like a religious person at all, but I was like, bro, whoever did this, thank you.
Mhm. Sometimes it just
And
lines
so,
up.
yeah, dude, it was incredible. And so, uh, the day before, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I have to drive to Austin tomorrow and meet Mick Gordon, and there's like 20 other vocalists that were recruited for that as well. And so I was like, I wonder who's gonna be there. I was like, am I gonna see the guy from Currents? Like
Yeah.
this is gonna be crazy. And I actually threw up multiple times the day before because I had so much anxiety. I was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, and I was like, stop throwing up. I need my vocal cords.
Yeah.
So it was like I was like, "Oh god." So I barely slept because I was so nervous and anxious about it. And then I got there and everyone was like beyond nice. It was like the nicest environment you could ever think of. Like everyone was like, "How are you? What's up? What do you do? What bands do you like?" And I met so many cool people. Half of the vocalists were women and the other half were men. So it was pretty crazy. So I was like one of the 10 people of women who got chosen, and Mick Gordon told us that there were over 3,000 submissions. So I was like,
Whew.
"Whew, this is nuts." I was like, "This is really surreal, you know?"
Mhm.
And he was like, "Obviously, guys were working on Doom Eternal," and we all look at each other and we're like, "Yee," you know, this is crazy. And uh, do you know the band Aborted?
No, not. I don't.
Um, he's from I think he's from Belgium. So it's either Belgium or Germany over there. But it's like death metal and he's pretty popular. And so I got to meet the guy from Aborted and he was like the nicest ever. And there's this other like band called Frontierer and they're pretty heavy. And so I got to meet the guy from Frontierer and he's pretty fucking nice and sick. Everyone was so nice. Like I can't it was crazy. I was like and all these women, it was so insane that they were so, like, brutal.
Mhm.
I was like, "I feel like a baby over here." These women who do, like, death metal vocals, I was like the softest
Mhm.
of all the crazy vocalists there, and, it felt so nice to be, like, treated with, like, respect and, like, just being recognized for what we do because, I feel like you don't get a lot of that in like this scene, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, obviously from people who are like your fans and stuff like that, but like just regular people, they're not like you're crazy, like they're like all right, you know.
Yeah.
And so he had his assistants and stuff, and he was like, "Do you guys want Starbucks? I'll go to Starbucks right now." And we were all like, "Uh, sure, we'll take some Starbucks, bro." And so he ran, and then like 30 minutes later we all had Starbucks and we were fucking screaming like demons. And so it was really cool to scream in this like demonic language that they like made up.
Oh yeah.
So Doom is known for rip and tear. So we would he told us throughout the game it starts in the demonic language, and once you start to figure out the story and what's going on, the all the chants and stuff start to switch to English. um and so we had to record everything twice, uh in demon language and then English. And then we had some cool stuff. I really got put on the spot. He Mick Gordon was like, "You," and I was like, "Yes, sir." And he was like, "Come here," and I was like, "All right." And he like gave me this paper, and it had all these chants, and he's like, "I want you to scream this like this," and he'd like whisper scream it to me. And he was like, "And then they're gonna all everybody else, they're like, and they're gonna chant this back at you, and you just like repeat this." And I was like, "All right." And so I I was by far the youngest person there, and everyone else had like established bands and like had been touring and stuff. So I felt like super baby, and the fact that he felt that I was good enough, to lead something like that. I was like, this is crazy. Maybe
Yeah,
I
that's
can yell.
insane.
Okay. So yeah, and then so when the game came out and I'm playing it, and I could hear all the stuff that we're doing, and I can pick out people's voices because I was there with them,
Hmm.
and I started crying, and it's like the funniest shit ever because I'm over here killing demons really gruesomely and like crying from happiness.
I kind of want to go and pick it up now, just
It's
to see.
pretty fucking good. Like, not even just, like, the soundtrack and stuff, like, the gameplay is pretty
Mhm.
fun. Like, all the have you played any Doom games before?
Yeah, I finished one of them. I don't remember. It was on like Xbox Game Pass or something. So
Yeah.
I just played it. I
Mhm.
don't remember. I don't even know what the title was. I just know it was Doom.
Yeah. So, they so I've played the really old Dooms, the one that came out in, like, the '90s,
Hmm.
and, they literally just, like, take the idea of that game and just make it, like, 10 times better with
Hmm.
better graphics and stuff like that. So it still has all the secrets, you have to go off and find out little secrets and stuff, and, the gameplay is just it's fun all the time. It makes you feel like a badass.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I would highly suggest it.
All right. Yeah, that definitely. Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
And we didn't just do like chants and stuff. We did some like microtonal singing and things like that. Just
Hmm.
like things to make you like really uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did he was like, "Okay, so I need you to scream. You don't even have to scream. I just want you to make a noise that you think you would make if you were in the depths of hell, feeling eternal pain for the rest of your life, or for eternity."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Okay." And he's like, "And go." And then everyone just starts screaming in like agonizing pain,
Hmm.
dude. It was so loud. And there's people in the stands. There was like it was like a auditorium type thing.
Hmm.
And so there's people sitting in the chairs, and they're like, "Oh my god." And then he cuts us off like that, and then it's just complete silence. And that was like the craziest thing, was going from like crazy hectic demonic to complete silence.
That would be
It was
so
pretty epic.
weird.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was crazy. And they set it up. They made all the lighting in the room was red, and they had like candles on the floor.
Hell yeah.
They
Give
really
the
made the
atmosphere.
mood.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. All right. Have you done any other voice acting or just the Doom
I've
one?
been the for sure the biggest thing I've done was that Doom stuff, and then I've been taking like commissions here and there. So like if someone needs me to get once a recording of something creepy sounding or something, I'll record it, send it off to them. uh Recently I'm in this Facebook group called Gent Shitposting,
Hmm.
and I posted it on there, and that surprisingly gave me a ton of commissions. So I've been working on people send me their song, and they're like, "I want these lyrics." They'll send me the lyrics, and then they'll describe to me like how they want it. Like I want these to be high and then these to be low screams. And
Hmm.
I'm like, all right, dog, I got you. And
Yeah.
so I'll record it. They pay me easy.
Hmm. Hell yeah. So you do so like talk I know you do some like coaching for vocals
Mhm.
and stuff. Like how
Yeah.
can people get in contact with you and like what do you do for them?
So I've come up with this vocal lessons, especially for screaming, are one hard to come by, and then two, if you find someone who does them, so like Elijah from like Cane Hill or something,
Hmm.
they're usually like out the ass expensive.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to provide way cheaper options for you because there's tons of people out there screaming, and it's definitely something you have to learn and work at, and if you don't do it right, you will fuck up your fucking voice for like life.
Hmm.
And if you want to sing and scream, and if you scream wrong, you won't be able to sing anymore, and that just sounds like devastating. So I really want people I want to help people, achieve what they want to. So, um but I also need to make a living for myself. So,
Yeah.
um I I do vocal lessons. I'll do 30 minutes or an hour, and then I'll type up personalized notes for that lesson and send them so you don't forget like what we talked about and exercises and stuff. And I'll send some voice recordings too of like exercises and stuff so you have something to refer back to. And then for any of those lessons that I've written notes for, people can buy those as well without the lesson
Hmm.
for cheaper,
Hmm.
so you can just read it and just I guess try to figure it out. And
Yeah.
then I also will do, if I know the one-on-one thing can be super anxiety inducing, and it's especially for screaming because it's such a personal thing, and it's like awkward just to be screaming with no music or effects or anything. So I feel that.
Hmm.
And I also take video submissions. So if you want to take a video of yourself screaming your favorite song or something, you can send it to me, and then I'll type up some notes for you. Some things to work on, things that were good, stuff like that.
And how much
So
does it like, cost?
right now I'm charging an hour for $50, so not bad at all.
Hmm.
Because really famous dudes, or just people, will at least 150 for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 50 for an hour and $30 for 30 minutes, and then I'll sell the notes for $10, and you can read notes and exercises that I've written down for you. I try to describe them as best as I can, and then for 20 I'll do the video submission thing.
It's awesome.
So yeah, I feel like it's a pretty good bargain.
Oh yeah, like if someone's especially the people who are like kind of just starting out or trying to get
Yeah.
better, but they're also like us, like college students.
Mhm.
They
It's
can't
hard to
afford to
get
go to
people
Elijah Witt,
interested.
you know?
Yeah, and you can watch YouTube videos all day, but those aren't gonna give you the personalized feedback that you need?
Yeah, exactly.
I
So,
had the pleasure of doing a lesson with Lucas Magyar from Velv Maya.
oh hell
He
yeah.
gave me some pretty good tips and stuff. Oh, and with Ryan Kirby. I totally forgot about that. That's how I got the guest spot when he came
Mhm.
over here, and I got to scream with him on stage. That was pretty fucking sick.
Hell yeah. So, you did do the stuff with Fit for a King and Ryan
Yeah.
Kirby and all that. Can you go into that some more?
Yeah, for sure. So, they came through Tyler because, they're from Tyler,
Hmm.
and so they play at this, venue we got here, basically, like, the only metal venue we have here, and, uh, I was I just had enough money to buy the ticket, and I was like, "Fucking sick," and then, Ryan posted that he was doing vocal lessons before the show, and I was like, "Damn it, that sucks hard."
Hmm.
I was like, "I really wanna do that," and I was complaining to my friend, and, it was around the time of my birthday too, so, like, the day before, she was like, "I have a surprise for you," and I was like, "What?" And, she was like, "Check your email," and I was like, "Okay," so I checked an email, and it was like thanks for buying or booking a vocal lesson with Ryan Kirby. And I was like, what the fuck? Um, so she got me that for my birthday, and it was pretty sick. So that got me in contact with their manager, and their manager was like, yeah, come to the tour bus or before the show, like an hour before or something." And I was like, "All right, sick." And so I went over there, and all these metal ass dudes that are like 6 foot tall. And I'm over here, my 5'2" self. I'm like, I'm looking for Ryan Kirby.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And then he comes out of the bus and he's like, "Are you Andrea?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, come on." And I was like, "Sick." So we're sitting in the bus, and I do the vocal lesson with him. I talk to him about stuff that I'm struggling with, and he gives me, a ton of cool information and stuff. And I show him stuff that I've recorded that I have on my phone, and he was like, "That's pretty sick." And I was like, "For real, you think so?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my god, that means so much to me. You have no idea."
Bro, to Ryan
And
Kirby to say that,
yeah,
like,
dude. I was like,
yeah.
And he goes, do you know like the lyrics to our songs?" And I was like, duh." And I was like, "I only practice to your songs every day."
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, here's our set list. And he like pulled out his phone, and he's like, do you wanna get on any of these? And I was like, "Are you fucking serious right now?" I was like, "Is this a joke? Am I on pranked?" And
Mhm.
he was like, "Do you know the words to any of these?" I was like, "I know the words to all of these."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "We'll just do pissed off, that's a good one."
Mhm.
And so I got to go on, and we would do the back and forth thing. Have you heard that song?
Uh, I've heard it. Yeah.
There's some back and forth vocals going
Mhm.
on. So uh he was like, "So yeah, when we play this song, just get on the stage." And I was like, "Okay." All right. And so I get on the stage and I steal the mic from Dan Gailey. I just grab it from where he's at, and me and Kirby are just tearing it up, dude. I have a video of it on my Instagram, and we do this like last there's like no instrumental, and it's just me and Kirby screaming together. And it's like one of the greatest moments for sure of my life. I was like, this is fucking sick.
That's insane. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely like what I don't know what they're called. Like one like a really important memory. Yeah.
yeah, dude. I was like, I definitely have to do this. And it was
Yeah.
I got to go from being in the crowd watching Fit for a King, and then for the next song I like ran up there. I was like, hee, here I come.
Mhm.
And I grabbed the mic, and so I do the classic, bend over when I let out my first one, and I hear this guy right in my ear go, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Mhm. Because the
So
crowd's
yeah,
probably
no,
wondering like, what is she doing? Like, what's
like
this
what? Yeah,
5'2" girl running up stealing Dan's mic?
yeah. They're like, "Whoa, is this allowed?"
Yeah.
I was like, "It's chill, guys. It's chill."
Mhm.
And then I just let it rip. And yeah, I gained a lot of respect from like my friends that day, because I didn't really share it, at the
Mhm.
time that much. And so they were like, "What the bro?" I didn't even
Yeah.
tell anybody either. I made sure not to tell anybody when it happened. All my friends, they were like, "How'd the lesson go?" And I'm like, "Oh, it went great. It's fine." And then later they're like, "What the? Why are you why are you on the stage?"
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, So it was pretty fucking fun. I owe Ryan Kirby, that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
He's a
awesome.
super nice guy, and we got to hang out with them afterwards. And Jared and Tuck, they were all like, "Bro, girls in metal," and I was like, "Bros." So
That's
yeah, it was
awesome.
pretty sick. Mhm.
Yeah. And one thing, like, it's funny with those kinds of bands, like these dudes screaming about, like, they have a song Stacking Bodies, and it's all
Yeah.
like evil, and then you meet them, they're like
He asked me if
super
I wanted to do
sweet.
that song first. He asked me if I wanted to do the Levi part, and I was like, I'd never been on a stage before, so
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And he goes, "Oh, is this your first time on a stage?" And I was like, "Yeah."
He just assumed like not your first.
Yeah, he was like, "Well, if it's too much," I was like, "No, please, God."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so that was
awesome.
pretty fucking sick, and that propelled me to work on my own stuff.
That's really neat. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
All right, so where are like your social like where your social media is? Where can people follow you? Where can people listen to you? Do all of
So I
that
got
fun stuff.
I got two covers out right now, on YouTube. Andrea Pakis. You just type that in the search bar, and my thing will come up. So Andrea, Andrea Pakis, Pacas, and all my social media handles are the same, which is Dre Pacas, Pacas. Just Dre Pacas on Twitter, Instagram. You can add me on Facebook. That's my full name as well if you want to. That's where a lot of people have been asking me to do commissions and stuff like that. But feel free to DM me on like anything, and we can talk about literally whatever. And if you want to be hooked up with some vocal coaching, whatever, I'd be more than happy to help out.
Hell yeah. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
I think that concludes it. I think we're all set. I have asked
Hell
all my
yeah, dude.
questions. Do you have anything else you'd like to
Fucking
say?
sick. I just want to say thanks to you for letting me do this, man. It's
No
pretty sick.
problem.
I love what you do, and I know it's a lot of work because you're doing a lot of shit. Oh, I also play video games, so if you want to play video games with me, definitely hit
Hell
me up
yeah.
on Xbox. I play Overwatch and Call of Duty mainly, so
Hell yeah.
I
I
might do
used to
some
play a lot
streaming
of
here.
Overwatch.
I stream sometimes, not too often, but it's where I get a lot of my vocal practice in, just like raging. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I really appreciate what you guys are doing, helping people out too. So I really enjoyed talking with you as well.
All right, yeah, same for you. It was really fun. It was nice hearing all these crazy stories I wouldn't have expected from someone like just on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah.